But we are Tottenham TV back here for another Tottenham update for you guys, people. A bit of transfer speculation to talk about. Not long to go till January, people. Under a month to go till the transfer window. The door gets smashed open. Hopefully Tottenham Hotspur will be acting quickly in this transfer window under the tenureship of the new ENIC 2.0. But before we get into transfer speculation, Spurs are set to announce or set to hire a new commercial director in January. He goes by the name of Alex Scotcher. He's previously worked on the naming rights deal for Everton, and he has been hired by Valencia to land a stadium naming rights deal for their new stadium, which is opening in the summer of 2027. So obviously there's been, I think, multiple people that have come in and tried to land stadium naming rights deal for Tottenham, never been able to hit the fees or hit the revenues or hit the number that Spurs want, really. Hopefully this guy can do it.
Yeah, and I wonder if now there's new ownership, are they willing to maybe take a lesser fee than maybe Levy was willing to take? We know that Levy drives a hard bargain. It's his way or the highway. It's his price or you're not getting a deal. And Levy's been very public saying, yes, we've lost out on that revenue, but what we've gained with brand recognition with the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium being obviously home to the NFL, home to Beyonce concerts, all this kind of stuff. Taylor Swift maybe as well, I can't remember. Anyway, not Taylor Swift, but there are all these concerts and whatever. They earn a lot from brand recognition, so it's kind of offset a bit of the money they've lost, and we've grown as a brand globally because of that. So it's not a bad thing necessarily that we don't have a name rights deal, but I think the new guys want to come in and show they can get a deal done and show I think we are missing a big chunk of our revenue not having this deal.
Yeah.
And I think as well, it's probably worth more now than it would have been when the stadium first launched or first.
Yeah, you would expect so, but you know, the money that could come in through a stadium naming rights deal is very significant. You're talking about a multi-100 million pound deal that over the course of however many years it would be. So yeah, I think it's fairly important for Spurs to get this done. I get what you're saying about, you know, the brand recognition, about, you know, Tottenham's name being plastered all over the world through the various different sporting events and concerts and stuff like that. But I think it's time now. Spurs need to get this naming rights deal, influx of money, and really help those. Hopefully, it'll help those transfer coffers.
Depends what kind of name we're looking at.
Yeah,
the Google Stadium, the X Arena.
Well, originally they were thinking. Do you remember when we first opened? They think the Apple Arena or
the Apple Arena.
They thought maybe Nike would do the stadium naming rights deal, the Nike Arena. I don't really care, because at the end of the day, it's always going to be White Hart Lane to me.
Peppa Pig Park.
Peppa Pig Park. Bring it on. My son would love that.
Yeah, whatever. I don't really, doesn't really matter to me too much. I don't want a hugely embarrassing name, but I'm sure it wouldn't be that. So yeah, more money. Hopefully more money available for transfers and all that kind of stuff. We'll see if this guy gets it done. Does that mean as well he's going to take over the whole commercial area? Because we're doing quite well commercially. So I don't think, apart from the stadium rights deal, does there need a revamp of that kind of sector of the club? I don't know.
That I'm not too sure about, but the article literally just says his main focus is going to be the stadium naming rights deal. I'm sure he's going to be working on other stuff as well, but I think that's at the forefront of their minds right now.
So what's Hill Dickinson? What are they?
What is Hill Dickinson?
That's what they've got for Everton. It's a lawyer company. Okay.
Yeah, it's a law firm.
Law firm. All right. We'll see. We'll see where you get to Spurs.
Quite interesting that a law firm it must be a bloody big law firm if they're sponsoring a stadium naming rights deal. But anyway, let's get into some potential transfer news. First up, caught offside saying Tottenham are the latest club to be credited with interest in Brentford's 24-year-old Brazilian striker Igor Thiago in January. Both Newcastle and Aston Villa have also shown interest, with Villa the more likely club to be in the market for a new striker. Obviously, we know John Duran left them last season. Ollie Watkins ain't getting any older, and he's like kind of in and out of the team, albeit he did score two.
Well, he is getting older, he ain't getting younger.
Yeah, he ain't getting any younger. He scored 2 goals, didn't he, midweek? I think it was.
Well, there was a report that came out saying he's been playing with a knee injury.
Yeah.
For the last like year. So there's a lot of reports saying whether that's something he'll ever get over or he needs surgery or something like that.
Regardless, I think it makes sense that Villa's in for a striker. You know, they've got Watkins and Donyell Marlin. I think they want to, take that strike force to the next level. I think Igor Thiago would actually be a pretty decent fit for Aston Villa, to be honest. But yeah, look, we've spoken about it before on previous Tottenham updates. I really like Igor Thiago. Obviously, scored 11 goals, I think, in the Premier League so far this season, which is an unbelievable return which is pretty much his first season in the Premier League. I think he played a bit at the back end of last season, but he was injured for the majority of it. He's come in, he's hit the ground running once he got over that injury, and I think he's a really good talent, man. Yeah,
he's quite young as well. He just keeps scoring goals every week. He has got quite a few penalties, but he does just keep every week scoring goals for fun. And I think he really suits what Brentford are trying to do. I think he's got good pace in behind. He's strong, and clearly he's got a good finish as well.
He'll suit what we're trying to do then.
Yeah, maybe if we're trying to be Brentford. Look, I watch him play, and I do think he's good. I don't know if he's, a top 6 striker. I'm not sure. He might be. I guess I need to see more evidence. I don't know if we should go big in January for him. I don't know if that's a smart thing to do.
I would say, he's a good finisher. He's good at holding up the ball. He's good at running in behind. But I would say, technically, he's probably fairly limited.
Yeah, I think that's pretty accurate. So, what they're going to demand in January is big money. I don't know if that's a smart thing to do. But I do think I'm starting to come around to the idea that we definitely need a striker in January because of the Solanke situation, and Richarlison, his hot and cold form. Although I am liking Wani, he just hasn't got enough goals yet. So I'm open to, I think, Spurs getting a striker, but I would be surprised if we sign a striker for big money in January. Like maybe I think a loan deal for Tony might suit everyone, to be honest. But
yeah, well, I mean, the reports I'm hearing about Tony is that he's got no interest in leaving Saudi, and Saudi have no interest in letting him go either. So
all our reports that we've been reporting are not true.
Well, when you were off, we reported that.
Okay.
So it looks like even Tony is a no-go, to be honest.
He has no interest in going to the World Cup. All right, whatever. It's not about Tony, but. Fair enough. But yeah, look, do you really see us splashing big money for Thiago and Jan?
It depends how desperate they are for a striker, to be honest, and it depends where they see that they want to upgrade the squad. I can see us potentially signing one player for, north of 50 million. Is that going to be Igor Thiago? Probably not. I would say that it's probably more of a left winger. I
also think Brentford, because it's January, they're going to bump up their price, surely, because they don't really have another striker. I know they played Sade and they play Otara there, but they don't really have another proper 9 like Thiago. Are they going to really replace him in January? So that probably puts an extra 10 million on his price.
Probably. Yeah, you're probably right. So, look, would I even want to spend 60, 70 million on Igor Thiago? I'm not too sure about that. Like I said, he's a good player. He knows where the back of the net is, but he is fairly limited. And I think there are probably other strikers that have a higher ceiling than him that you can get for a fairly similar price. No, that's just my opinion. Another striker that we're going to talk about today is Jean-Philippe Mateta of Crystal Palace. He's actually not been linked with Spurs, but I thought it's an interesting development going on with him at the moment because he was locked in transfer talks. That's now stalled, and it looks as though that he's looking potentially elsewhere. Look, he is 28 years of age, but I think he's kind of a late bloomer, isn't he, Jean-Philippe Mateta? And I've been so impressed with him. If you ask me who I'd prefer, Mateta or Thiago, I'll go for Mateta, to be honest. There is Sun reporting that Palace will listen to offers in the summer for Jean-Philippe Mateta if they cannot agree a new deal with the French forward. The club are determined not to repeat the Marc Guéhi mistake with another major asset who could be sold for a fee north of 50 million. So in the summer, he's going into the last year of his contract. So if they don't want to repeat the Guéhi situation, then they got to sell him either in January or the summer.
Yeah, I think Mateta's been so good over the last 2.5 years now. It was a weird situation. He was actually at Palace for quite a while before he broke into the team under Glasner. It was really when Glasner came in, he really hit the ground running, and he hasn't looked back.
And it was straight away, really, wasn't it?
Yeah,
it was pretty much straight away.
Not stopped scoring. And obviously, he finds himself in the France squad these days. Even scored on maybe it was his debut or wherever he scored on international duty. So the guy's going from strength to strength. He's gaining confidence every season. He's a really good goal scorer. He's so strong. He's such a big unit, but he's good finishing ability on both left and right foot as well. Yeah, I like him. I like him a lot. I do think he benefits from how Glasner plays. The 3-4-3, two creators and very close to him, and the fact that they play with little possession, so he's always kind of running into space, and I think that suits him. But I think when you've got a goal scorer who's been scoring that consistently, and he's available for that price, I think we should be not to look at him. I do think we have strikers on the books who potentially could be as good as him, but right now he is playing better than them. So people like Solanke, Moani. I think Moani. I don't see Mateta as much better player than Moani, for example. But obviously Mateta's not new to the league. He's been playing here for a while, and he's bagging the goals. I think if you put Moani in Palace's system, I reckon he could also get a lot of goals. But at the moment, Mateta's showing it. So I think if Moani doesn't sign or Solanke doesn't recover, and in the summer that he's available for that kind of price, and none of the big boys really want him, I would look at him for sure.
Yeah, the one that we really missed the trick out on was Sergio Guirassy, wasn't it? That release clause when we were interested in him a couple of years ago.
Yeah, 17 million.
It was, I think, it might have even been less than 17 million. I can't remember it at the moment. But, I mean, he was scoring goals for fun, wasn't he, at Stuttgart? And then, we kind of, scoffed our nose at it a bit, it's just one season, look at the age. And then he's gone to Dortmund, and he's just kind of carried on that goal-scoring run. I think with us, we missed a massive chance on that. But anyway, let's talk about, this is an interesting one about Gleisen Bremer. As Court Offside says that Tottenham are targeting Juventus defender Gleisen Bremer for a January move, but the price is expected to soar beyond 60 million euros. Chelsea, Man United, Bayern Munich and PSG all monitoring the Brazilian as well. The Italian club are in a strong position, though, as his contract doesn't run out until 2029. I think this is just complete rubbish, to be honest. I can't see us spending that much on a centre-back. And if those clubs are interested in him, I don't see Spurs even being in the running. He's played, and maybe he's been injured, but last season was 6 games he played. This season, 4 games so far. So I don't see a centre-back that's going to cost 60 million there. Well, is it injuries or is it out of favour?
Well, even if either way.
Yeah, true.
It's not going to be 60 million. I know he was a defender we were heavily linked with before he went to Juve.
When he was at Torino, yeah.
Yeah, and he's obviously ended up going to Juve. He has, in his first 2 seasons, played a lot, but this season and last season hasn't played much. So
yeah, he's been out with a meniscus.
Right. So I don't know. Doesn't sound to me like a player.
He's actually currently injured right now.
Well, still the same injury.
Yeah. So he played the first 4 games of the season, and then he's been out ever since.
With a meniscus?
Yeah.
Well, that sounds like it's going to be a long injury. So last season must have been a big injury as well.
Yeah. So last season...
Because he only played 6 games last year.
Last season he's had a cruciate ligament tear.
Yeah, we ain't paying 60 million. No chance. No chance.
I feel maybe it's just Juventus just trying to sell him, basically.
60, yeah, you can have a 60.
Yeah, there is no chance. No chance at all.
Juventus, by the way, they've had Romero and Heisen on their books and let them go. So ridiculous.
Last season he played the first 6 games of the season and did his cruciate ligament tear, and then he comes back and after 4 games he's done a meniscus.
Poor guy. I feel bad for him.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think he's going to be leaving for big money.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, last but not least, this is a very interesting one. I know it's not the most reliable source, but a player that I actually mentioned yesterday. I don't know if they're watching We Are Tottenham TV, and that's where they're conjuring up their
probably
rumours from.
I won't be surprised.
But Team Talk say that Tottenham have identified Brighton goalkeeper Verbruggen as a potential long-term replacement for Guillermo Vicario. Tottenham are well informed about the goalkeeping options available and are considering both Verbruggen and Man City outcast James Trafford. The Lily Whites are said to be hugely impressed with Verbruggen following his strong displays for Brighton, where the Dutchman has kept 10 clean sheets in the Premier League since the start of last season. While the cost of a potential move has not been revealed, Brighton are in a strong negotiation position with Verbruggen under contract until 2028. The 24-year-old has also attracted interest from Bayern Munich, reportedly considering him as a long-term replacement for Manuel Neuer, who is out of contract at the end of the season. Look, like I said it yesterday. I really like Bart Bruggen. I've been very impressed with him. He does have a mistake in him, but I think he's a young keeper, and I think that can be coached out of his game. And I think, like, when you're trying to play out the back, I don't think there's many better in the Premier League that we can target than Bart Bruggen.
If you're looking for Premier League experience, for 100%, is he a better keeper in general than Vicario? I don't know, to be honest. I think Vicario is a better shot stopper. I think they both got some issues coming out for crosses and things like that. I think Verbruggen is much better on the ball, that's for sure. He's really good with his passing range, and he's got a lot more composure. I don't know. I think he's a calmer keeper than Vicario. And look, to be fair, he is younger, so maybe he's going to get a lot better as well. So I think Verbruggen's much more of a frank keeper. I think when you look at Mark Flecken, who's now at Leverkusen, who we had at Brentford, they're very similar.
David Raya.
I think the thing is with Raya's just good at everything. He's good with the shot stopping, he's good with the ball at his feet, he's good at coming for crosses. The other keepers you kind of have to give and take. But I think Verbruggen, if he can just get a bit stronger from crosses, and because I think he's a bit of a liability at the moment with that. He's a bit like he's a bit weak. But if he can just like improve that, I think he could be a top keeper. I think he might be on his way there. He's not quite there yet. So I don't think we're signing a keeper who's like incredible keeper, but he could be in a couple years, or maybe even a year, or maybe Frank can improve him. So I like him. I definitely think he suits what Frank wants to do with their keepers, probably more than Vicario. But I wouldn't necessarily say he's a better keeper than Vicario right now.
If I offered you the chance to sign him in the summer and sell Vicario to Inter Milan, would you take it?
Probably. Depending on how manager is, of course. But yeah, if it's Frank, probably I would.
But even a manager like you want, attacking football that's, going to want to play out the back anyway, like, surely he would be the best option for us.
It's true, but you look at City, they've gone in a different direction. They've gone Donnarumma.
Yeah, but history under Pep Guardiola, they've always had a keeper that can play. Ederson, he's the best out of playing out the back, and this is like the first season we've seen it with Man City, isn't it?
Yeah, they went for Trafford, and then decided actually he's not good enough, so we're going to get Donnarumma instead. In terms of Trafford, I think Verbruggen's better than him, to be honest. But I also think he's still so young. He's got a lot of growing to do, and I do think he'll be a starting keeper for a Premier League side that isn't getting relegated in the future. But I just don't think right now he's that great. I think we saw it when he was in the Premier League. He wasn't convincing.
He's got development to do, man.
Yeah, but he was great last season in the Championship. Obviously, Newcastle wanted him to come in and be their number one, I think.
I think they wanted him instead of Ramsdale, wasn't it, to fight against Nick Pope, not to be number one.
I think they wanted him to be number one.
Maybe future number one.
Yeah,
not this season.
I think Pope I think Howe wants to move on from Pope, to be honest. But anyway, so I think Trafford is, people see him as a prospect, but again, he's not coming in as like a top keeper just yet. So in terms of a top keeper who in the mould that we want, who is there? It's tough to... No, not in the Premier League. I can't think of too many keepers. Maybe Pickford? I don't know. I don't know if you count him as a top keeper.
The thing is about Verbruggen, though, and how Brighton like to drive a hard bargain, with his transfer value with Transmarket is 35 million euros. You'd probably have to spend like 40, 50 million to get him out of Brighton. Yeah. That's the thing. Which is crazy, like, for a goalkeeper.
I know, but... prices these days, if you're going to sign a number one, that's how much you're going to... I mean, Onana cost big money, didn't he? But obviously it didn't work out, did it?
But what other keepers have like been in that ballpark figure? Like Gigi Buffon.
Alisson. Yeah. You top keeper. Well, Alisson was 70. Ederson was about 35. That's a long time ago now.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It's not that many. Like, no. David Raya was a lot cheaper. Obviously, he had contract stipulations and stuff. But, I don't know how... I like him, and I would want to sign him, but I don't know how I feel about spending like 50 million on him.
Well, if you get, 30 million for Vicario, let's say.
Yeah.
Double your money, because we signed it for 17, double your money on him, and then spend about 40 on Verbruggen, then... maybe that suits everyone.
Yeah, I guess. I'll take that, I guess. But look, that is your Tottenham update for today. Let me know in the comment section below. Would you replace Vicario with Bart Verbruggen? And let us know on the other transfer situations that we did speak about today as well. Like, subscribe, and comment. And as always, come on, you Spurs.